are now listening to No Dumb Idea.
All right, everyone. Welcome to No Dumb Idea. We're a pop culture podcast. It does silly games, trivia, all that fun stuff. I'm one of your hosts, Gibbleding. Who am I joined by? Who's my Sinister Three?
And
I'm Gym Leader Nate.
Ooh.
Oh.
I went because you were drinking, so I was like...
Yeah, I managed to swallow fast, but I am Gym Leader
That's
Nate.
fair.
King of swallowing fast.
You king of swallowing. I'm Dala, the king of interrupting people.
Hell yeah. Well, I think all of us are kind of the king of that.
We're all savants in our own way.
Yeah. I'm the king of queens.
All right, everybody, shut up. It's Craven time. Craven's coming out. Craven, everyone was craving it, so Sony said, hey, let's make it. And I think by the time this has come out, we'll probably have a review out. So go ahead and check that one out. That episode, that'll be fun.
I don't know about that. We'll see, hopefully.
The Sony Spider-Man spin-off universe, I think titled Spum. I think they self-titled it the Spum.
Mm-hmm.
The Sony Pictures universe of Marvel characters. Yeah, you know, we've already got some installments, great stuff like Madam Web, the Venom trilogy, Morbius. You know, things that people just they want. You know, now we're getting Craven, but it made me look back and look at the I guess the history of all these Sony Spider-Man spin-offs, you know, why they're doing them, when they kind of started having this bright idea. And yeah, I wanted to go over kind of the history of it all. Are you guys ready? You guys sitting down?
Yeah, I'm standing, but
yeah.
honestly, that's better.
And I'm crawling.
How's that?
I can brace myself.
Yeah.
I was asking the listeners.
Oh, nobody cares about them.
I know you guys. I know you guys
though.
are ready.
Yeah, listen, sit down. Sit your butts down, because you're craving this.
To go all the way back, Marvel Comics was going bankrupt in like the 90s, and they had to sell off a bunch of different property rights to their characters, for film and TV rights. And the biggest winner that came out on top was Sony when they got Spider-Man, as well as some other characters. So far, I think that's the only studio that has another Marvel character. I think every other Marvel character has reverted back to Marvel.
Is Hulk still Universal? Or he's reverted?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, you know, that's like the origin of it. So the reason for all these spin-offs is the fact that they keep being made so that they could hold on to the rights for Spider-Man. They have to make a Spider-Man property or something using the Spider-Man IP every certain amount of years so that they don't lose the rights. Easy as that. And, you know, I'm sure they make a good profit. I mean, Venom made billions.
Shockingly.
And so, you know, going up to 2014, I remember this, the interview starring Seth Rogen and James Franco. Have you guys seen that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, years ago when it was, like, new, yeah.
I was asking the audience. I know you guys seen that one.
Then don't pause. Keep talking.
You gotta pause for the audience so they can respond.
Pause.
Yeah,
Are you waiting for them to answer?
It's like Dora.
Gibbledang, do you not know that they can't talk back to us? Is this the first time you're realizing that?
Well, I think they're waiting for them to like respond via like email or in the comment section.
True.
Just
or like
yes or no.
What do you mean? I hear their voices in my head the whole time.
I do love that idea. Go to YouTube and it's just like all the comments are no or yes. Like just no, yes, no.
Timestamp, no. Timestamp,
well,
yes.
At least they're timestamping it then. Shit.
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll know. I know our fans. I know what they want. So the interview came out, and obviously it dealt with, you know, it was a very touchy political satire where the leader of North Korea got assassinated, and Seth Rogen and James Franco helped, I guess, see that out. And so someone from North Korea hacked Sony's database and emails, revealing a bunch of leaks for different projects, as you know, basically doxing Sony. It was I remember when this was happening, it revealed that, you know, this was right after, I believe, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I think The Amazing Spider-Man 2 just came out, and I think the second Avengers movie had just come out. So it's 2014, you know, Marvel's just starting off, kicking out. The emails showed that Kevin Feige, right off the bat, knew that Sony was fucking up all of their IPs and Spider-Man franchise and was just like, hey, let's try to buy it back. You know, like, hey, can we buy it back? No. Sony said no. They offered $2 billion, but I think Marvel was like, fuck that. And so that's when eventually they worked out that deal between kind of sharing Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. But the plan before that, right before they decided to do a whole reboot in the MCU, Andrew Garfield was going to be in Civil War. They were going to like merge over the two universes or just say that they existed in the same one the entire time. Like Sony was really hedging its bets. Let's see.
I will say MCU 35-year-old Spider-Man would have been weird. Definitely would have been.
At this point, it would have been refreshing.
Teenage Peter Parker with full-on 5 o'clock shadow was already startling in Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yeah. So I feel like continuing with that, with him just getting older, would have been like, this is getting... they're going to have to start CGIing his face like they did with Captain America's body.
I'm like, I don't know if Andrew Garfield, like, if like 2 led into, like Amazing Spider-Man 2 led into like Civil War with like Garfield joining, I'd be kind of like, I don't know if I'd be I'd be stoked because it's still Spider-Man in the freaking movies, but
right,
I think I'd be kind of just also like, I don't know if I want this dumb Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 attached to this like universe. At the time, at least, it was doing hot, you know.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the thing for me, is that also like, vibe-wise, Spider-Man has always been a weird puzzle piece to the Avengers / like general MCU thing, because the way they built the MCU, it always seemed like there just wasn't a good place for Spider-Man to come in, and then in the end they were just like have Tony find him, and it's like, surprise, he's there.
I think that the way they did it was okay. I think that works because, one, we don't need an origin movie where he gets bit by the spider and then we see his Uncle Ben die.
We've seen it twice already. Like.
Yeah, and I think I like that it's like again, I like that he's like almost like a legacy character in the sense that he's like Iron Man Jr. in that, like, in those movies kind of.
It also is like any character who is like, they've spent the last like 20 or like 15 years making movies of, they didn't bother with an origin for their MCU. Mm-hmm. So like the Hulk, they're like we made three Hulk movies have come out, and all of them did.
Everyone and their mom has seen the old show. We're good.
Yeah, everyone knows who Hulk is. We're fine. Yeah. Honestly, it's still always impressive that like the Iron Man origin movie kind of kicked all of this off. It's still always so interesting to think about.
Yeah.
So the list here: proposed rollout of future films. Amazing Spider-Man, Kraven. It's going to be a Kraven origin movie. This was in 2016. 2017, a Sinister Six movie. They've really wanted to make this happen. There's rumors every other week that this is back on board, that this is going to be made again. Mm-hmm. And even at the end of Morbius, there was a fucking tease of it. We're like, well, me and you should get a bunch of good guys, whatever. Spider-Man 2099 in the second half of 2017. It's a time-traveling movie where he's got to go back in time and team up with modern-day Spider-Man, a.k.a. Andrew Garfield, whatever. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man Venom, which was going to be in 2018. Yeah, it would have just been a Venom origin story. And then after that, in 2018, there would have been a Black Cat movie, which I think they announced. I remember that being announced, and then they canceled that, and they announced Silver and Black, which was a Silver Sable and Black Cat movie. And then I think they canceled that to announce that both of them were getting a solo movie again. And then that was like 4 years ago, and nothing's happened.
Amazing.
Damn, I need those.
The Carnage movie, which most likely would have been Emma Stone as Carnage. The Jackal movie, Spider-Man 2099 Part 2, Sinister Six Part 2, The Amazing Spider-Man 4 Part 1, The Amazing Spider-Man 4 Part 2, Spider-Man 4, which would have been a sequel to Spider-Man 3 with Tobey Maguire, The Amazing Spider-Man and Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man versus Spider-Man, which would have been Andrew Garfield versus Tobey Maguire. And then some other ones that aren't on the list are the Ant-Man?
Ant-Man?
Auntie?
Yeah. Ant-Man.
Well, I was asking the viewers.
I'm also just comedy.
Yeah, mine is a question mark.
Yeah.
The Aunt May movie where she would have been a spy in the 60s, 70s, 60s, 70s, 60s,
The 1860s?
the 1860s.
Yeah.
That's why she's so damn old.
Yeah.
The Aunt May origin prequel movie, the Disco Dazzler movie with Childish Gambino, that might have been
Is that Spider-Man though? I thought Dazzler
probably
an
can't.
X-Men.
No, like
What?
disco. It's like disco something. I think it's Disco
Oh.
Dazzler. He's a black and he's a black man, but he's got like a purple costume. He's got like an electric guitar or something that he uses for like music or some shit. I think it's Disco Dazzler.
Hypno Hustler.
Hypno Hustler.
Hypno
See?
Hustler?
Hypno Hustler.
Yeah.
That's who
Oh
it
my
was.
god, what a name.
The Disco Dazzler. God, I keep saying it. The Hypno Hustler. The hip. Jesus
You don't
fucking
even need us to
Christ.
interrupt. You're interrupting yourself.
Hypno Hustler. It is you have to like slow down for that one because that's a twister.
Well, I'm not gonna. We got to keep this list going. Hypno Hustler, that was, I think, announced. I say announced in like quotation marks.
Leaked.
I don't even know. They announce these projects every other week and then nothing happens. So fucking who knows? Yeah, Hypno Hustler, 4 years ago. Nothing since then. Same thing with the other Childish Gambino project, fucking Lando.
Yeah.
Like, this dude just keeps announcing that he's working on things, but,
Damn,
just,
poor guy.
that's it. After that, fuck. Oh, this one just happened too. El Muerto.
Oh yeah.
El Muerto
Like
was announced 2 or 3 years ago with Bad Bunny. It was stunt casting. They were like, it was actually announced with Craven, I think. And everybody was like, "What the fuck? Why the fuck is this like?"
It's a character that's
a
had
thing.
4 issues like ever appeared in and they're all like connected. Those 4.
I'm pretty sure like most of these announcements are just like stunts so that they can keep investors. We're like, we need to show investors we're having ideas, so we're gonna tell them we're planning all these movies and then we're gonna make none of them.
I mean, yeah. I'll take a Hypno Hustler movie though. Honestly, like shit, we got Craven and Morbius and even Madam Web for. It's like I'm fucking down.
Yeah, honestly, it's like I don't know. If Madam Web, I would have been more down for Madam Web if it was vaguely more reminiscent of the actual, specifically if it was more reminiscent of actually giving us time to see her as Madam Web.
Yeah.
And not an origin. I thought it would have been a good character. Ooh, what if they had done Madam Web backwards, Memento style?
That'd be
Because
something.
they're from the future.
Yeah.
She saw the future.
Yeah.
Oh.
It'd be something at least. But anyways, we'll give you the rest of that list. I'm curious.
Well, funny enough, with the Bad Bunny El Muerto, I think he gave up on that. He was
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I don't
sure.
want to do this."
Yeah.
And I'm sure. Actually, I think it was either right before.
I think it was after Morbius came out.
Yeah.
It was after Morbius, but I think it was right before Madam Web,
It was, yeah,
because I think he saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, it's like Morbius had its reception, and then Madam Web was starting to preview and looking terrible, and he was like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna step away, and I'm not gonna be doing a Sony movie because this will ruin my career."
Yeah.
There's also so much like, God, there's so many leaks and so many like different rumors of these spin-offs where it's like, okay, there's a Chameleon spin-off in the works, but there's also a Rhino spin-off in the works, but maybe there's also a Chameleon and that's one movie. Maybe it's one movie now, like the other fucking Silver and Black shit.
It sounds
it
sounds like producers just on cocaine, like, oh, like it's coming to me, like, it's a Mysterio movie, but then like, oh, but then the Lizard comes, it's like, just like freestyling it almost.
It's like one of those things where there's a boardroom of incredibly detached producers who all think it's an amazing idea. They push it to announcement, and then it announces. They see the public outcry of being like, "This is dog shit," and they're like, "Oh, I think we misread the room there," and then
Maybe
just
not.
repeat.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde announced she was making a Spider-Woman movie 5 years ago. Nothing happened from that. And that's actually having like, I'm gonna be the director, and it's like, what the fuck is? What else has happened here?
Yeah. And now Star Wars is turning into that too. Funny enough, now Star Wars has turned into the oh, we're making this movie. Oh, it got canceled. Then we're making this movie. Oh, the writers dropped out. Oh, we're going to make this movie. Oh, the director dropped out.
We fired the director.
Yeah, we fired the director.
They never drop out, dude. They always get fired.
Well, no,
I swear to God.
What I think it is every single time is basically people come into Star Wars and they're like, hey, I think for Star Wars we need to revitalize it, and so I have something new. And they're like, nope, we have the game plan. Do the same things over and over or you're fired. So get out. Next person. And they start over.
As it should be.
Yeah, nothing should ever change ever, actually.
Yeah, keep it all the same.
I think that's about the end of the list. You know, it was very broad. I mean, shit, I could go into depth about, you know, what the stories were. You know, they wanted to bring back Emma Stone as Carnage, which happened in the comics.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted Spider-Man to
Carnage.
join the Sinister Six and fight dinosaurs on an island. Ideas for Danny McBride or Jonah Hill as Sandman.
Okay.
Danny McBride
Those
as
are
Sandman. When
Those are both
I feel like
Yeah, that would be
I feel like he would try to be serious, and I would laugh anyways.
Yeah.
Not even. I'm just imagining Eastbound and Down. You mean I have to fight a fucking Spider-Man guy? The
What
fuck?
God.
the fuck he got web?
Jeez. I'll be right back, but I'm listening.
I mean, not only that, but the Aunt May origin story. That's insane
That one's
to
crazy.
to really like think that like, yeah, this is gonna be good. But, you know, it's Sony. They're gonna be making bad decisions, and they're not gonna be making movies with Spider-Man. So here at No Dumb Idea, I figured, why don't we try to pull a Sony, and why don't we try to make a bad Spider-Man spin-off movie that no one wants to see?
You mean a great Spider-Man movie that that everyone's gonna want to see? Okay.
Oh God, cocaine! I
Oh,
love
the
it.
Coke Mountain.
Chills me out so much. Dalla, what do you have to say about this?
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. With Mysterio, and like the lizard comes in.
That's good timing.
Oh, yeah, no.
Now I gotta keep in that you went to go pee for that joke to work out.
Edit in a pee sound over the.
Yeah, it's just in the background, just the sound of piss going into the toilet.
Add reverb though too, so it's like in the distance.
Nice and far away.
But
Did you hear the premise?
I
or
am
did you-
down. Yes,
you're
I
good?
have. I have
Okay,
brought
okay.
cocaine. That's actually where I really went. So we can.
You
make-
brought.
we-
Oh,
Ah,
but Nate brought
lucky.
cocaine.
I brought it
See?
for all of us. We're all in the
No,
same room.
I brought the banana. It's like everybody shows up with like the coffee or like liquor, and it's like, all right, I brought the liquor, you brought cocaine too. Everybody else holds up liquor too.
Like,
Oh no, no
no.
one brought the cocaine.
yeah, damn it.
Or it's like one guy brought liquor, everyone else brought cups. Ooh,
Ooh,
Smart guy.
that'd be worse though. That'd be
smart
the even
I
worse.
kept my
part.
cocaine in these cups.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
you can. I saw a movie where they put cocaine in a Coke can and had a straw in it and sniffed through the straw. So we're good.
I was about to say, I just picture like loose cocaine in a cup, and you're like tipping it to drink, but
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
like tipping it at your nostril.
Exactly.
All right.
Yeah,
It's so dumb.
But yeah, would you like to start off Gibbelding with? I don't know if you had, or should we? How should we do this?
So, if it's gonna be so the main points are, it's got to be a Spider-Man adjacent character. Maybe a
Okay.
character that appeared in one panel, or maybe maybe it was a character that could have been referenced now,
Yeah,
just in
okay.
passing that we never see. You know, Spider-Man adjacent character. It's got to tease Spider-Man, either
Right.
directly or
Okay.
very stupidly indirectly. Like the time in Venom and Carnage when Carnage smashed a spider on the desk when he was writing. Do you remember that?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, I don't. But that's good.
You don't.
I don't remember because I
Uh,
very, very rarely remember anything from that movie.
Good.
Also fair.
Good. No, that's good. You know, it doesn't have to, but the villain could basically just be an inverse of the hero, which usually they are. But you know what I mean? Like it's
Sure.
it's Red Spider-Man versus Gray Spider-Man, or it's Blue Hulk versus Red Hulk. You know,
It's
just
Venom
shit like
versus
that. Like,
Venom, or Venom versus Venom.
Venom versus Denim.
Other
Denim.
Denim? Nice.
That's just
Yeah, it's
Best
denim.
Genius from My Hero Academia.
Yeah,
They're shooting out denim.
Oh, nice.
that's good.
That's cool.
That's it.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Yeah. So I could go first. I could give an example, one that I thought of. Which the more that I thought about it, the more that I was like, it's bad, but it just seems exactly like the type of bad that they would put out.
that they're looking for.
So I'm thinking right off the bat, who is the closest to Spider-Man without being Spider-Man? Literally. It's a question for the audience.
Spider.
No, I'm waiting. I'm like, come on, audience, answer.
Yeah,
Right,
come on.
Mary
any minute now.
Jane. All right, Mary
Mary
Jane. Reporter
Jane.
movie.
Okay.
Exactly.
Your porno movies? That he said.
Reporter.
I heard porno movie. I was like, whoa.
Mary Jane prequel, or Mary Jane superhero movie, right? Right?
Okay.
But it's not just Mary Jane. It's Jackpot.
Okay.
Jackpot is a superhero that when she came out, I believe she didn't have an identity at first, but she looked exactly like Mary Jane, and her catchphrase was like, "You just hit the jackpot." And Mary Jane's main thing was that she would tell Spider-Man, like, "Face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot."
Mm-hmm.
So for years, people were thinking like, "Oh, that's Mary Jane," but then it ended up being like a rug pull. It was someone else. But recently in the comic books, Mary Jane became Jackpot. So now I'm thinking the origin movie, or the you know, she's going to be in college. She's going to be an investigatory journalist. Maybe she's
Nice.
got a friend. She's got you good? My bad, you were drinking.
I can only think of Zoolander now. I'm sorry.
You know, she's got a friend, Felicia Hardy, right? You know, it's very much like you got Mary Jane, who's cool, and or Mary Jane, who's like a little bit timid and nice and much smarter, and then Felicia Hardy, who's like cool and outgoing, right? They grow up together. They go to college together. Mary Jane, being an investigatory journalist, she gets this hot scoop about like the Kingpin doing a bunch of crime and shit, right? So she goes to like his where she thinks there's going to be this meeting or like this delivering of this like dangerous object, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when she goes, you know, she's like sneaking through, and it's like the PlayStation game, right? So we reference that. And it turns out that the item that was being received is like, I guess, a bracelet, right? Right? It's like a little bracelet with a bunch of powers on it, right?
Okay.
Because in the comic book, Jackpot has like, or at least Mary Jane's Jackpot has a like a roulette device that basically gives her a different power every time, like so it's like a luck based thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mary Jane's like, "Oh, I gotta take this so it doesn't get in the wrong hands," right? But then when she's there, it's revealed that Felicia Hardy works for Kingpin, and she's like his bodyguard or whatever. And you know, it turns out she also has a bracelet that like gives her like luck powers, or like, you know. So you got these two different. They got the same kind of powers that are luck, but it's different. You know,
chance. Luck.
Yada yada yada. You know, Mary Jane's mom is like, "Oh, I know a boy. Like, you're so busy. Like, you need to unwind and go on a date. Like, I know a boy who could like. Oh, my friend has a nephew that's like, oh, mom, I don't want to hear about it. I'm too busy being Jackpot. Also, I'm afraid of spiders too. I need to make that
Very clear.
Mary Jane's gonna be afraid of spiders.
Oh God.
Um,
Just like always squashing them.
that
like,
might pay
throughout the
off.
movie.
In when we make part 3 of this movie, it might pay off.
Okay.
We'll see.
Part 3. Damn. Okay.
So Jackpot, you know, she fights crime. Kingpin's looking for the item. Kingpin sends Black Cat after her. They have a fight, and then they realize, oh my God, it's you. And Jackpot ends up okay. So this is the thing. I guess in the comic books, and I haven't read it, but I was reading on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
The bracelet, it's like a roulette thing, right? But if you spin it and you land on 3 skulls, you die.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of interesting.
It is, but why include that?
Yeah. Well, wait, is this like a scientific device or is this like ancient, like mystical?
I don't know, man. I don't
If
think
it's
Ancient
mystical,
Mystical would have would be a roulette with 3 like. Or
I
are
don't
you
know
asking me about like the comic books or in this?
Either, both, I guess. I don't know. Like, because if it's mystical, I'll excuse it as like a curse, like thing, like that's like the chance.
No.
But if it's a science-based thing, then it's like, why? Yeah, why put that in?
No.
Why put that in there?
No. Yeah.
Not even a little.
It's not even it's not a failsafe. Well, I guess it is a failsafe, but it's like
But-
here are all these superpowers
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you want to be a superhero, but
But
one
it's
of
a
them might
chance
kill
for
you.
a failsafe.
There's a drawback.
There's a
yeah.
chance for a
I
failsafe,
guess.
not an actual failsafe.
So Jackpot, at the end of the movie, it's like a life or death thing where it's whatchamacallit. This is as far as I've gotten. This is as far as I've gotten.
This
Um,
sounds about as far as they've thought through
They-
all those other
yeah,
things
yeah.
too.
Well,
honestly.
Yeah,
this
which
would be
is
one
why
of-
I was adequately prepared.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Probably more prepared.
So-
really.
I'm imagining Jackpot is fighting Kingpin and Black Cat at the same time, right? But then Jackpot gives. She's like, "Oh my God, it's you! You're my best friend. I'm gonna be selfless. I'm gonna give you the bracelet, right?" So she gives Black Cat the bracelet, but Black Cat, being a double crosser, she had her own goals. She puts on the bracelet. She's like, "All right, I'm out of here. I got 2 bracelets now. Fuck that."
I'm double
And then
lucky.
they knock out Kingpin. I guess
Yeah.
they beat Kingpin.
Can with the 2 bracelets, can there be that, like, since she has the luck, it improves?
This is what I'm getting. This is what I'm building.
Okay.
So Black Cat's like, "All right, I'm out of here," and then she presses the button, but it's the 3 skulls, and she dies. And Mary Jane's like, "No, I can't. Like,
My
this
friend."
sucks. I just lost my friend." And but because she's wearing 2 bracelets,
Mm-hmm.
it turns out that the button got jammed or something.
That's not where I was going,
she's-
but all right.
The other bracelet saves her. Like
The other bracelet saves her. But Mary Jane, she's like, "I'm giving up this life of crime. I hate spiders. Black Cat was my best friend,
best
but now she
friend,
died. She was my best friend, now she's died, and she's dead and gone, and it sucks, and I'm so lonely. You know what, Aunt May? Or not Aunt May. You know what, Mom? Tell Aunt May that I think I do have time to see a boy." And then at the end, it's revealed that she goes on a blind date with Peter Parker.
Oh my god!
And this is how Mary Jane meets Peter Parker. And then when you make sequels from this, when you make the Spider-Man spin-off from the Spider-Man spin-off from the Mary Jane
for the
prequel
villain,
movie,
for the Mary Jane.
Yeah.
it's Black Cat comes back, and it's a love triangle.
Ooh.
And
See-
Peter's like, "I think I want that cat."
yeah.
And Mary Jane's like, "I don't want you to be a crime fighter because it's dangerous."
It's dangerous. See, here's the thing. I love that idea. As long as we can. Here's the thing. Oh, love that idea. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Just one note. We're gonna need I need the last shot to be a shot of her sitting at the table waiting for her date, and then you see the shot doesn't change. You just see like someone walk up and kind of they're like
Yeah.
I get you.
block the camera a little bit, and they
Yeah, yeah.
you just see
back.
like their hand come out and be like, "Hi, I'm Peter,"
Hi.
and you never even
I
see
mean,
his
Peter
face.
Parker.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you just see
yeah.
her
No, no,
like
no,
look up and be like, "Hi," and
What
like,
if-
that's the end.
What if to edit that a little bit? She looks up, it's like, "Oh, you must be Peter," so we don't even hear the voice, so we could cast whoever
Nice.
it is.
Oh,
Yeah, we get
even
nothing.
better.
Yeah.
And you don't even see a hand. That way you don't know if this Peter has hands or if he's black or white.
True.
You know? Yeah.
And
He's
literally
actually just a
cast anyone.
blur. You just see like a blob.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's like a redacted kind of like blacked
yeah, it's
out.
like edited.
Yeah.
Like if when
Yeah,
they
yeah.
or
Or
people
green
try to
screen.
put
It's like a
Muhammad
green
and stuff.
screen. Yeah, oh, yeah. Good. It should be Muhammad.
There we go. Now,
Yeah.
okay, Sony Universe origin story Muhammad.
Ooh, yeah.
It's my favorite Spider-Man
He
character.
hates spiders too.
Yeah.
Turns out he hates spiders.
Oh yeah.
But, I was thinking that also, maybe there'd be like a Black Cat origin movie prequel where she grows up and in like New York or whatever, and you see her side, you see how she has had to be raised by like all these different gangs or whatever. And then at one point Fisk is like, I need the strongest gang member from each district, and you guys are going to have to all fight each other all throughout New York. And Kat
Gangs of New
basically, yeah, she kind of fights her way through like this. It's the Hunger Games.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
nice.
he split New York into districts, right?
Yeah.
Gang owned by gangs.
Owned
Each
by
one has a
gangs.
gang. All these gangs own different districts. You got the Riddlers, the Jokers, and these are all references to Spider-Man things.
Yeah. Penguins.
Penguins, the Batmans.
Yeah.
But then Hell's Kitchen, it's still just Daredevil.
Yeah. Well, the Batman's a handful of baseball bats, so yeah, it's fitting still.
Yeah,
Ooh, yeah.
true. The Batman.
Yeah.
Well, I think
That's perfect. 10 out of
I think I'm happy with that.
That'll
Yeah.
work. That'll work. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah. I've got an idea that I want to throw past you guys. I think we should save Dala for last because I think his idea is probably going to be better than mine. So,
Sure.
or by that I mean worse.
Watch it sucks, yeah, and you're just really setting me up. But go on.
All right, picture this. We cut to a we open on a cheery New York. It's almost idealistic, you know. The sun is shining. It's a wonderful day, and we're following the day-to-day life of a certain. I believe he's a designer.
Oh, I already know. I think. Yeah.
A young
I love
man
this.
named Ned Leeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ned
Love it.
is, he's been going about his life and things are pretty usual, but then all of a sudden he starts having nightmares. And he can't understand why he's having these nightmares. Coincidentally, as he starts having these nightmares, the city is fraught with fear because every time he has a nightmare, he wakes up the next day and sees a new news story about a crime that has been committed in the night. He slowly has to come to realize that he actually has an involvement in these crimes. Certain clues come to light that connect to his life, but he doesn't know really what's going on until we slowly find out that he is experiencing a Wolfman-esque story where it is implied that he, in the night, has been taking on another persona and carrying out these missions, these operations that end in many dead or wounded, and dressing as the character known as Hobgoblin. Now,
Yeah.
Ned Leeds was, if people know the comics, he was originally the thought identity of the Hobgoblin, but then retroactively, he is not. And the big twist of the movie is that he is being basically brainwashed into doing these things by Roderick, the actual
Hobgoblin.
And I think a big part of this movie is going to be the inclusion of the Green Goblin. And we're going to spice it up. We're going to spice up his story right now in this telling and have the Green Goblin be almost a neutral force of chaos that opposes these things that Hobgoblin's being made to do, so he thinks.
Mm-hmm.
And while
Okay, I'm liking this.
the big twist we when at the end, he's like, oh, it was Roderick, but like he was brainwashed to be the fall guy and to be the one who is seen. So police are hunting Ned and they're trying to get to him, and the person who ends up helping him is Norman Osborn, in order to strike back at Roderick, who is slowly spreading his influence of criminal control over the underground of New York City via these terroristic acts. I'm not sure how I want to do the allusion to Spider-Man specifically. My thought was maybe involve J. Jonah Jameson and like some type of like picture taking as well. Like basically the Easter egg would be like when they show pictures of people have captured of Hobgoblin, it'll say like attributed Peter Parker.
I like that. That's kind of cool. Okay. My suggestion was gonna be Norman Osborn goes to Hobgoblin's like, I'm somewhat of a goblin myself. And then it's like,
okay, nice.
That's
Actually, that 100% has to be in the movie.
okay. Cool.
So does this mean that Green Goblin existed before Hobgoblin, but also these two exist before Spider-Man?
Yes.
right.
I like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
That's how it's supposed to be.
I feel like the thing we're setting up in the villain verse is that all of the villains existed before Spider-Man.
Yeah.
This time.
Yeah, everything happened before Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man is the Avengers movie
Yeah.
where he's like, oh shit, I have to fight all these guys.
Honestly, that kind of like is an interesting take if you go off of
True, I guess,
New
yeah.
York's full of supervillains and some guy gets powers, so he's like, what am I gonna do with these powers?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm gonna fight all these supervillains that keep appearing in New York. Because
Although you could put that in one movie. That could be one movie. That doesn't need to be 5 prequel villain movies.
it doesn't. But that's not what we're here for.
Yeah, we're not.
We're here to
we're
make
not
making
at all.
money.
movies.
We're making money.
But unfortunately, I don't know, Nate. I think your idea actually sounded too good for something like this.
I was like,
I was like, this sounds really good.
Like it'd be
Yeah,
cool.
I've
It would be
done it.
cool. Like a psychological, the
Dude.
first half of the movie is a psychological
You know,
"Am I
it's so
crazy?"
funny.
like story about Ned Leeds. It's like,
Yeah,
it'd be interesting.
I actually love that. I really like
Yeah.
that.
It's funny. I came up with 2 ideas, and each idea is actually very similar to either of yours as well.
Oh, hell
I have
yeah.
one that's close to Gibbs, one that's close to Gym Leader Nate's. It's so fucking funny.
perfect.
Stylist.
Would you like to go?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Or
like-
is there anything?
Mine was pretty short and sweet. I feel like I like
yeah, it's good.
mostly just a
liked it.
thesis statement.
Yeah. No.
Okay,
yeah.
but okay. I
Like-
don't want to edit, but like I liked it
Yeah.
too much. I think it.
Yeah,
needs
how do
to
we
be-
make it worse?
There has to be
Okay.
something that's like it has to put its
Well-
foot in its mouth somehow.
I
Okay,
will
so
say,
we're
it
gonna
being a-
we're gonna since Ned Leeds is a designer, we're gonna make him gay, and then
Okay.
it's
But,
like the whole
overly
movie
gay.
is gonna be a
Classical
really
music?
like
Yeah.
you know how like with Madam Web they were like she needs to be detached, so they just made her straight up unlikable, like an
Yeah.
absolute asshole to people.
Do that
It's
thing,
gonna
yeah.
be like we're like we need Ned Leeds to be a designer, so we're gonna make him super flamboyant and like 100% stereotypical and offensive, and.
I'm
and, like-
somewhat of a gay guy myself.
Yeah,
like
and like
classical
in
music.
his nightly, and when he's like when he starts thinking he's turning into Hobgoblin, it's gonna be like a really shit metaphor for like him embracing his true masculinity or some shit. Like,
Oh God.
I feel like that would ruin it a good amount.
Yeah.
That would ruin it a good amount.
That's
It's
pretty
true.
bad.
That would actually ruin that. Kind of beyond what I was thinking. I was just thinking like a shitty third
Oh, that
act,
got
not
too
like
far?
not like a
went too
damning
Okay,
piece of media.
okay. I changed
No,
my
no,
mind.
no,
Third act, we're gonna bring in the Queen Goblin storyline instead.
Yeah.
Queen
And-
Goblin.
Yeah, we're gonna bring in Queen Goblin.
Oh, Queen
and
Go- oh, nice,
Goblin's
okay.
gonna bring Queen Goblin back to life. We're gonna cut all the other stuff with the other Marvel villains and the reason why he did that in the comics, and it's just gonna be about taking out Roderick, the real Hobgoblin, and so he brings back Queen Goblin. Then it's just a giant goblin off in the middle of like Times Square, and where you have Roderick Hobgoblin, you have Ned Hobgoblin, you have Green Goblin Osborn, and Queen Goblin, all just like in a
fucking
giant tornado
going
of
on.
bombs and chaos.
And it'll be right in front of a Pepsi logo.
yes.
Yeah, and then Peter Parker will run up and be like, "Hey guys, can I get a picture?"
Let me get a picture.
Peter Parker appears in the exact situation as Stan Lee did in Spider-Man 2, where a piece of like building's about to fall on somebody, and he'll like just
yeah.
kind of like be in his street clothes and be like, "Watch out!" and like pull them
Yeah.
out of the way. But it's actually Peter
Ooh,
Parker.
and then it'll be like Hobgoblin will be like, "Let me use my rope to save." Fucking Peter,
goal.
and he'll do it, and then you'll get a close-up shot of Peter Parker being like, "That was really cool."
Interesting.
that rope-
Yeah.
Intro-
Yeah.
That might be what
Goblin's
I
like,
need for.
"This
Oh my
gives me
god, the missing
ideas."
piece of my spider theme.
Yeah. Huh. A rope.
Oh man, you could pack that movie with Easter eggs and be like Green
Oh, yeah.
Goblin's like talking to Ned Leeds and he's like And he's like, I'm losing control over the underground of New York City, and on top of that, somebody just stole a bunch of my best radioactive test subjects. Like,
Someone stole all my radioactive spiders.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm so
stole all the
stressed.
spiders.
Damn it.
Sorry if I seem really stressed. I just lost
misplaced
a
them all
bunch
the
of
time,
radioactive
yeah.
spiders.
Sorry, I'm
happens
carrying
all the
things
time.
over from my day job. I shouldn't put that on you.
There we go. Perfect. Now it's perfect.
I haven't had my coffee. I'm sorry.
my
I'm
God.
sorry. My goblin coffee. I mean, regular coffee.
When you think about it, it is
coffee.
kind of crazy that with the Madam Web movie was like, all right, this is Madam Web. And they're like, what's the first thing we're going to do? Throws 3 Spider Women in there.
Yeah. That's, that's how you really.
So it's going to be like that. And that's why we need to throw all the goblins in.
You're good.
Also, Black Cat in my movie, played by Sydney Sweeney. Doesn't matter that she was already in Madam Web.
the others or whoever.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. I don't
That's
care
the
who
one that
directs it.
matters.
I don't care who else is in the movie.
What
Yeah,
was that thing we found out that was super disappointing? Did she vote for Trump or something?
I think she might.
Oh damn!
Yeah, I think she might
I
have.
didn't
Yeah.
hear about this.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Wait, hold on. I'll look that up again because it was like
I think she's got 2 good reasons why, but we can move on.
boo.
13 reasons why.
Bzz.
Nice. So I'm just gonna start, and I'm just gonna start kind of going because I kind of wrote like the plot synopsis. I just like to do the skeleton of the story first, Mr. Producer. So we're just gonna start off with my movie. We're gonna start off in an asylum, like I forget what the asylum is in the Spider-Man world. Do you remember? Whatever. It'll be that famous asylum where Carnage is and all that. And we start off. We see a group of D-list villains just sitting in a therapy group. We got Leapfrog, Kangaroo, and Typeface. So we got those 3, and then they're also they're sitting with Dr. I'm gonna name her Dr. Lorena Dodson, as a little nod. But so there's the 4 of them. They're just doing therapy. And this is like part of their normal routine. And so Dr. Dodson is she's working with them, and all the super villains are like, man, I was Leapfrog, I could leap hella high, I'm a frog, frog ass abilities, but fucking Spider or
I got my long tongue ass.
I got my tongue. I can change my gender. What other frog things are there now?
I can breed with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Hatch the eggs out my bag? Is it out the bag?
I think the women put it on the men.
Fucked up.
And then the men hatch them. But they're all recanting stories of it's oh man, I would have gotten but someone stopped me. It's we don't name who, but just kind of nudge nudge.
I didn't see him in time.
Yeah.
All I heard was thwip, thwip, and then I was covered in some kind of jism or something.
Yeah, Leapfrog was I tried to jump at him, but then he got away. And Kangaroo's yeah, I tried to jump at him, and he got away. And then Typeface is yeah, I tried to write the word jump at him, but he got away. And it's things. I'm just kidding.
I tried to jump exclamation point at him.
But he got away.
He jumped away like some kind of jumping spider.
Yeah, some I
some
fucking
kind
hate spiders.
of insect, like a cricket.
Like a araña? I'm just kidding.
yeah, we'll say spider in Spanish.
They just every
It's
time
like
they
an
say
araña or something.
That way it links to Madam Web.
Yeah. This is gonna be tied in with all these are all tied together. But yeah, so over time we see Dr. Dodson working with Leapfrog, which is the Eugene, who's the son of the original Leapfrog. And his, she's working with him on the hatred of his dad, as he was the OG, and then the legacy, and kind of figuring out where his place is. And then she's working with the Kangaroo, who's very angry, PTSD from killing a fighter while doing a boxing match. So it's different area. Sometimes we see individual counseling sessions. Typeface, she's working with him for bipolar disorder, just some straightforward things. We'll see scenes where the characters, just kind of get the characters Leapfrog's maybe more of a timid guy. Kangaroo's the big brutish, everything makes me mad. Fights breaks out or something.
Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Or actually, no, I don't think he is. Funny enough, in the comic books, he's not. I think he's a white guy white guy. I think he's American in Australia dressed as a kangaroo, which might be better.
Okay,
Might be
yeah.
better.
I guess.
Boy, good eye, mate.
Yeah, he's a
He
bad
puts on
actor.
he uses a fake Australian accent whenever he's in costume.
Dr. Dodson's working with him, and she's like, "You're not Australian. Stop
You're
it.
not Australian.
I swear I am,
Know
boy."
that, mate. I'm gonna give
Shrimp
you a
on the
raw
Barbie.
whooping.
Damn it! I was just about to say, go toss a shrimp on the Barbie.
He does the
blooming
thing where he's
onion.
like, he does the thing where he's like, hold on, I'm losing it. I'm losing. What is it? Razor blade? Razor
blade?
Razor blade? Anyways, as I was
Razor
saying.
blades?
Yeah, no, over time, Doctor, she's working with them in the groups, and we see them like interacting between different groups, and with the kangaroo, she breaks like his hard exterior, and they start relating. She's like, "Oh, I'm actually like a kickboxer as well," and they like do some sparring together.
She beats the shit out of him.
I mean, yeah, maybe it's
She breaks his kangaroo shell.
his hard kangaroo shell. And then there's one scene, maybe she's with I think Leapfrog, and she's like, Eugene's telling her, she's like, like about your dad and all this, like that's crazy or whatever, but this reminds me of a Lewis Carroll poem where he once wrote, when one is responsible, then does the power come to them. So it's like a little nod to the...
Smart. We all have to put that in some way, shape, or form.
In
Great
both
power,
of
great
mine.
responsibility. Just like twist it around. All shit.
Oh my god.
Both of mine
yeah.
have
Wait, say it
that,
again?
honestly. It's hers is what is it? When one is responsible, then does the power come? Or does the power arrive to them?
Stupid.
So she's
My version in the Goblin movie will just be someone like Green Goblin at one point, just literally just going like, responsibility, power, and like that's it.
Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good too. That's like seems like accurate. So
Sorry, my ideas are too good.
Yeah. You want to go get with yours, or
God.
you want to add
What do you mean,
your responsibility power line
Oh,
for Jackpot?
With no, I can't.
That's it?
I'll think of
Yours
something.
Yours will be.
I'll think of something.
Yours will be like, sometimes when you feel powerless, you just gotta be a little irresponsible.
Ooh, okay.
Oh god, that
reverse.
sucks.
That's a good switch.
That's good, but that's so stupid. Oh my god. Okay, I guess that, yeah, because it seems like something out of touch exec would be like, we need some
like-
sexy hot girl shit. to
Yeah,
say."
would this
Yeah.
would this be a girl power moment?
It'd be Felicia saying it to like
God.
Jackpot because she's like, you
No,
gotta
it'd be
a
both
little-
of them. That's
Both
their
of 'em-
catchphrase.
Gotcha.
That's
Like,
their
One of
best
them,
friend.
comes in
Like
and
the
is
first half.
like puts their hand out and they're like, sometimes when you feel powerless, and then the other
The other
one
one's like,
grabs her like with the superhero handshake with the forearms. I gotta get a little irresponsible.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
terrible. Perfect cut print.
But yeah, so like I say, you just see over time, you see Dr. Dodson working with the three of them, and at the end of the movie, we see them, like the group all sitting when an orderly arrives and apologizes that the doctor can't make it, like to the session. So the others, like, they get up, and then he has to talk to Dodson, and then that's when we find out that she's actually being released soon for good progress, and it turns out she is White Rabbit, the Dr. Lorena Dodson. She was crazy the whole
Yeah, I know it.
time, and
Yeah.
she was also a patient. Yeah, that's my.
Nice.
So the movie's about the four of them,
But
or is it
it's
really
more-
mostly about her?
It's called White Rabbit, but yeah, it's got like all four. It's like the Madam Web. It had four spider or three Spider Women, and
Okay.
it's like White Rabbit.
What is
and
your
like,
Spider-Man tease?
Oh,
Oh,
I mean,
some
gonna-
guy took down.
Oh, right.
yeah. Some guy took me down, and then also the like
Right.
responsibility line.
True. Yeah.
Anyone hate spiders?
The other one I came up with, I'll just say really, really quick because it's just I want to read the line that I wrote for the responsibility part. The other one was the answer, the villain, the answer, whose power.
Oh, I don't even know that.
He's a hitman for Wilson Fisk, who arrived around the invention of Black Cat, and he got the power actually before Black Cat, I think, or like the machine that gave her luck powers. Wilson Fisk tested on in the comics on him, and his power is to have whatever power necessary for a given situation. Hence why he's called the answer. So he's like, oh, I
That's
got the
pretty
answer.
dope. I do like that.
It's he looks like a
It's so.
cooler like design than he actually is. I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say he looks like a cooler black cat.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, how do you do it? Sexy from sexy to cool.
But as a guy. No, but the
Yeah.
line in there would have been, if one has power of responsibility, then they are responsible for their power. That was like all I wanted to read for that one. But it's like a basic like typical like he's a villain and fights Kingpin and yeah.
When you embrace your responsibilities, then you will find power.
Yeah.
What do they say in Amazing Spider-Man 2? It's like, if you have the power to do something and it's in your power, then you have the right to do that thing.
You have the
no matter how much you do
responsibility
it.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking 3-sentence line. Like,
Yeah. Jesus Christ. If only there was a way to shorten
oh
this.
boy.
Yeah, if only there was a way to shorten
There's
that
no way
line.
to shorten it though.
I love that everybody like sees the most famous line in Spider-Man and they go, "I think I could do this better." The one line that is remembered by every single one of his fans. No, I think, guys, step back. I've got this.
Yeah, I got this.
Which, hey, you know what? Surf Dracula, that line in Spider-Man No Way Home, that whole time you're expecting it to be said, and then once Aunt May dies, she's like, you remember that with great power comes great responsibility. But you thought that was going to happen in the first movie, but it didn't. But anyways, so all of this, well done. Round of applause for everybody.
Yeah.
All of us.
10 out of 10.
Hold on.
We all-
Celebratory cocaine.
Some of us did too great. Nate, I'm sorry.
Sorry, too much
Have to
cocaine.
bring you down to our level.
Too much good
Not
cocaine.
enough, I would say. Not enough cocaine.
Not enough. Yeah, I wasn't strung out enough. It's too.
But now I'm actually thinking, it's got me thinking of like, because there are good characters and there are good Spider-Man universe characters that do have stories worth telling. Even if it's a movie with, like, if it's about Spider-Man and Kraven rather than just Spider-Man, you know what I mean?
just
Like give
Kraven.
equal parts, like
Yeah.
for example, like Kraven the Hunter. That would be a good movie, and that would be a better way to do a Kraven movie. But they're not going to do it. Instead, they're just going to make some slocky shit. But with that being said, that's an example right there. Kraven, that would be a good movie on its own. Kraven's Last Hunt, if it had Spider-Man in it, if it was faithful. But my personal favorite would be the superior foes of Spider-Man. Dala, I think I've tried to pitch this one to you, or I've told you about this one because this is one of my favorites. Nate, have you heard of Superior Foes?
No, I'm googling it right now.
Okay. So they're calling themselves the Sinister Six. There are only 5 people on the team.
Beautiful.
They're all Z-listers. They're all Z and even lower.
Okay.
They're calling themselves the Sinister Six so that they have a better rep, and they're trying to pull off a big score. There's only 5 of them. One of them argues, like, why do we call ourselves, the 6 if there's only 5? And the leader, who's a piece of shit named Boomerang, he's like,
Shocker.
he's like, we just, we leave people guessing who the 6th member is. And we let people guess, oh my god, who's the 6th member? Is it Doctor Doom? Is it Galactus? Is it Magneto? Like, and where is he? And, all the other members are like, nobody's going to think that Doctor Doom is on our fucking team. So it's these this low-level group of criminals that are led by Boomerang. And Boomerang, I believe, it's been a while since I've read the story, but he's an unreliable narrator, constantly lying to the audience and to the people around him.
Nice.
It's about him figuring out a big score, which would be stealing a portrait of Doctor Doom, and like the portrait, it's priceless. It's got his face on it.
Right.
And so they're gonna try to do this, but they're gonna do it from with super shitty resources. It's like Ocean's 11, but if they were all bad at doing their part, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
It is so fucking funny. I remember at the time comparing it to It's Always Sunny. Like a lot of the
heist episode.
The peak of it, of It's Always Sunny, I feel, was coming out around that time and so like it reminded me so much of like the kind of tone.
Humor and
It's so good. It's so good. Punisher cameos. There's Punisher is like always one step behind the group of trying to catch them. And at one point, spoilers, he catches up to the Shocker. He's had the shit beat out of him. He's constantly lied to, and he's just over it. And he completely obliterates like the Punisher and sends him fucking flying away.
Nice.
It's such a good story. It's so fun. It's so fun.
that's it. Yeah.
And that's one
look into that one.
I don't think Spider-Man. He doesn't show up at all. He doesn't show up at all.
Mhm.
Spoiler alert until the very end. The whole time. Do you guys care about spoilers?
No.
It's fine.
I
Yeah.
imagine he's just been watching them and not interfering because they're not that much of a threat.
Yeah, or something. Or he just comes and beats them up in one fell swoop or something.
Well, they wouldn't be that much of a threat, actually. So yeah, that's probably the truth. I got to reread it, but at the beginning, the whole context of the story is that he's in a bar talking to someone and telling them the story about this big heist that they just pulled off, and that's the story. And then at the end, he's all drunk. He's like, "Oh, hey, what'd you say your name again was? Peter?"
Oh,
and it's
my
like you see the back of him, and
Yeah.
it's what Sony would do.
That is what Sony would do.
Yeah. So that's a really good story. I want to read more of the Boomerang character because he's such a piece of shit. He's He's Dennis. He's Dennis from It's Always Sunny.
It sounds also like it's
like
basically
person.
it's not like it's obviously different motives and different ways they started the story out and why it happened, but like it sounds vaguely like Suicide Squad, like
Oh yeah,
reminiscent,
around that time,
like
yeah. Around that
it's like
time,
funny
there was
because it's
that-
Spider-Man's villains, just like Suicide Squad is villains for
yeah.
the Batman universe, the two major villains matter universes or like
Yeah.
comics.
Oh, and then I think even recently in comics, so that came out in like 2014 actually, and then I think around like 2018 in one of the Spider-Man runs, Boomerang is Peter Parker's roommate. So there's like
Yeah.
Oh.
I think the same
I
writer.
want to read that actually.
I think it's the same writer.
Chip Zdarsky?
Is
No?
it Chip? I thought it was Nick Spencer. I think he did.
Oh, it might be Spencer.
I think that's the
Yeah,
Spencer.
it might
run
be
of
Spencer,
Spider-Man.
which is why
him.
he brought back Boomerang. So I recommend it. I think that's something
Yeah,
that's
a good
worth
one. That'd be a good one. Yeah.
having it. Yeah.
Honestly, that was so. When I was thinking about movies that they should do, it was just a Suicide Squad. I was thinking of just a Suicide Squad
bad
movie
guys.
of Spider-Man villains. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's I didn't know that comic existed, and so actually, but
it's
like
good.
I wanted it to have the tone of the Suicide Squad. So I feel like the Sinister Six are like too powerful and actually competent to actually have like the Suicide Squad tone.
Yeah.
Unless you're sending them up against something even crazier.
Yeah.
So it's like it could be the actual Sinister Six, but they would have to be going up against like a global level threat that they like are not prepared for, and but
That's why the Sinister Six movie that they wanted to make, it was going to be them teaming up with Spider-Man to fight dinosaurs on like a island,
Like a
Savage Land or
Sav-
some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I was say.
yeah. But like meanwhile, instead it's like I feel like it would be easier to just have it be like, or even just like it's a Sinister Six movie because like one like D-list Spider-Man villain like it's an insane power up somehow.
You
And,
just remind.
like,
Okay.
yeah, I was just gonna say he basically becomes because he's always been a D-lister. He doesn't know what to do with the fact that he's actually incredibly powerful now. So it's like I don't know. It's almost
That'd
like
be
it's like
groovy.
how Spot comes off in
It's the new Across the
in the Spider-Verse movies. Yeah,
Spider-Verse,
because where he
Across the
seems
universe.
goofy, but in reality he's doing something that's going to end all reality.
Mm-hmm.
And like he like doesn't really understand.
Yeah, like out of ignorance almost.
Yeah.
No, I was just, what's funny is
First fucking
nice.
comic.
I just remembered that the nice. The the Deadly or was it Superior Foes of Spider-Man is actually like a sequel to like there's two others, but they're like from the 90s that are like way more serious. But I remember it because I remember when you were talking about dinosaurs, it reminded me of Stegron, the fucking Stegosaurus villain.
Yeah.
And he's in...
What a product of its time.
Yeesh, yeah. He's in like the Deadly
Ooh, so-
Foes of... Yeah.
He's we combine the idea they had where they're fighting dinosaurs.
Yeah.
But
That's
it's the Sinister Six get thrown on an island that's like run by
with
Stegron.
Yeah.
And he's like, I've been
people to
mutating
dinosaurs.
people into dinosaurs.
Yeah, with Sauron's there.
Which is funny. There's actually a line of dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Sauron. It's not
Yeah.
Stegron.
Yeah,
Where
it's
Spider-Man's
Sauron.
yelling at Sauron. He's like, "You have the power to cure cancer, but you're turning people into dinosaurs. Why?" And he's like, "Because I want to turn people into dinosaurs."
It's fucking sick as shit.
Cool.
I actually have one
Cancer,
that...
but then people wouldn't be dinosaurs.
Yeah, come on. I actually have one that there's like a spin-off Spider-Man story from like the 2000s, and I think this would be better as like a show because the story is like an anthology, so each issue is drawn by different creators, and it's called Spider-Man's Tangled Web, and each story is just like a one-off or like maybe like a two-parter or something, but it's like here's a story, like, so for example, there's one story where it's like all the villains, Spider-Man villains at the bar with no name, kind of just talking about how they almost all took out Spider-Man, and then it turns out Spider-Man, it's literally that Batman animated series episode, but just as a comic.
Which the Superior Foes is that too, because
Yeah.
it's at the bar with no name, and
Gotcha.
yeah.
There's like an issue like that, then there's like Flowers of Algernon, but with Rhino is like an issue, which is like
That's right.
yeah, it's a pretty fun one.
Right.
Actually, I think
Interesting.
Leapfrog Jr., like the son, I think that's actually the issue where there's one issue where he actually, I think that's the first time that the son takes over the mantle. And, you know, for him, it's like following him and him dealing with like his dad, you know, being made fun of at school because his dad's fucking Leapfrog out of all the villains, you know, not even a cool villain. And then like one of the best ones, it almost felt like a fucking Sopranos, like the way it was written and drawn. I think it was written by Azzarello and drawn by Rizzo, Edward Rizzo, who did 100 Bullets with him. But it's Severance Package, and in that story, I think it's like a one or two parter, but someone that works for Kingpin, like, he works under him, he's like a mob boss under Kingpin. Or maybe like not a mob boss, but he like enforces some part of the business. And that part of the business, something happens and he's like, fuck. So the whole issue is just him kind of going to his wife, like, hey, like, we're going to have, you know, like, let's have a good time. And like, you know, he's spending time with his son, getting things in order. And then Kingpin, like, the final panel, I guess, spoilers, is he goes to Kingpin's office and it's all like black and white, kind of like, it's like noir style. And he's just like, all right, Kingpin, I'm ready. And Kingpin just like snaps his neck for like the mess up. And it's just like one of those like, god damn. It's like,
Oh, one of
Just
those
like,
movies where
fuck,
or one of the
man.
storylines that just ends with like
it's just like, it's like,
getting-
yeah, he's like, it's
That's how it
inevitable.
goes.
It's imminent. Like, it's really good. And like, so
sucks.
drawn. Yeah. So there's like stories like that. And there's some that are goofier. Like one is drawn by Darren Cook, which is like I think it's like a Valentine's or a Christmas one. And it's just everyone waiting for Peter Parker to come to like the cafe to kind of for Christmas, or I think I forget which season, but it's like one of them. So it's like, it's kind of like the people around him and their stories. I think it'd be better as like a show maybe. But yeah, if Sony ever wants to
Well-
break into shows, I'm down.
Well, that's the thing, you know, that actually reminded me of a new spin-off, which I completely forgot about, and I would love to talk about because this could actually be a hit, hopefully. Spider Noir.
Oh,
The
sure.
the Spider-Man spin-off, that's a
Oh,
TV show
right.
on
Oh, is it a
Amazon.
show? Oh, okay.
Nicolas Cage.
I forget that that's a
um,
show.
Yeah, which is Nick Cage's first series that he's done. And it's
Is it already out?
Spider-Man.
no.
No, it's being
upcoming.
filmed right now. You know, I don't want to just be hopeful because the costumes are like 1-to-1, because that's how it was for Madam Web. But I hope it's a good story. You know, it'll have Nick Cage in it, so
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
God,
fun. I
sorry.
think.
I'm
either
just
way.
thinking more about Madam Web again now and how just like the actual like filmmaking errors and like the dubbing errors and things like that and like how literally it was like technically done, like must
Yeah.
have looked like it was done by film students, and like
I love that. Oh my god, I love that so much.
it's crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, no, that really is one of my God. It's got to be one of the best movies of all. Like one of the best, so bad it's good movies. Like
oh yeah.
Yeah,
I just have such good fond memories with
Madam
Madam Web.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I
Yeah.
think the
And then that-
experience that we had particularly really like sold it for
Oh yeah.
for me as like
Yeah.
one of the best. Also, it is just really.
And then that guy that got
we need to
mad
see-
at me right after I posted spoilers for the
yeah,
movie.
for Madam Web.
should check in and see if he's still
Jesus
mad.
Christ.
See if he's still like.
The
should.
spoiler alert! It's a big Surf Dracula moment, but
Yeah.
spoiler alert! At the end, she becomes Madam Web.
Web. Oh my gosh! But not until the end.
Oh my god. Can you imagine if
Peter.
Captain America got his shield at the end of the movie? That's what these Sony movies are like.
That's-
You know what I mean?
They should do every Marvel movie, but that like that. So it's like Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man at the end of
I don't have my webs.
Yeah,
he,
Hulk
he
doesn't
gets
come
his webs at the end of the movie. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, Spider-Man! But he's in the early like homemade costume for the entire movie. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Oh,
actually
that's-
make
oh,
his
that would
suit until
suck.
the very end.
Those Avengers don't assemble until the end, like the last 10 minutes. Then they fight whatever Loki, I guess, in the first one. Like they don't
Yeah.
form until like it's just 4
Mhm.
different stories going on until now they're
Or
together.
better yet, it's just one person's story the whole movie.
Yeah. And then all of a
right at
sudden,
the
it's
end,
like,
Yeah.
it's just
Well,
Captain
hey.
America the whole time. And right at the end, he like just like picks up a phone. He's like, "I'm gonna need your guys' help."
No,
Just
not
like
even
all-
that. It's Nick Fury. It's
Yeah,
Nick
yeah.
Fury. It's an Avengers movie, quote unquote, but it's all Nick Fury just,
all just Nick
getting
Fury.
ready.
oh yeah,
It's,
he's the one calling
making phone
people,
calls.
making like plane arrangements for people. Like,
Yeah.
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 Hawkeye, we need you to go pick up Spider-Man.
yeah. Well, we're flying you guys economic. We really don't have the budget for anything higher. I'm sorry.
Remember when Hawkeye was thrown into the Thor movie,
Yeah.
and everyone was like, "Wait, what
Yeah.
the fuck? Hawkeye's in
Who's that
this?"
guy?
I do
Yeah,
know.
like
yeah. I
and
thought it
he's
was a
just
guy with
in
arrows.
this movie. He's just some dude with a
Yeah.
bow. Like,
Well, I remember in Thor, he's like, there's a scene where he reaches for the sniper, and then he's like, no, I'm going to reach for the
No.
bow.
Yeah, yeah.
But his whole thing has always been a bow. It's
Yeah,
like,
why
oh,
would
did
he
I
go-
forget? Did I
Yeah.
forget what my thing was? Oh, let me actually get the thing that...
I think that
Because he
I
never
think
uses
the-
a gun after that.
The implication
Yeah.
is that like he's supposed to grab the sniper rifle, but he's like he Miles Morales it, and he's like, "I'm gonna do my own thing," and grabs his
But
bow
it's like
instead.
that's always it's always been his ish. Yeah, it would be funny
Yeah,
if like
I'm
the
going to do my
last-
own thing, actually. The thing that I always do.
in Avengers like Endgame or
It's
something.
his.
He just pulls out a gun. He's like, "Fuck arrows! Damn, why didn't I been doing this the whole time?" Blam, 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 blam.
That's the okay. So that's the real question. So Hawkeye is like his whole thing is he's super accurate, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that would work really well with a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Like if he,
Oh,
if
yeah.
It's like, no, his arrows have special arrowheads. He can't have special bullets.
Yeah,
He can't
I
just
mean,
make those exact
why
things
can't you
just
just
in
have
bullets
both?
instead, and then
just
do-
have gun and
be
arrows.
better at everything he does.
It's funny because when I think in the Dark Avengers, when he was replaced by Bullseye, who's got accuracy, and he's used fucking cards, peanuts to kill old ladies in planes.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
You know, it's just like,
I think there is a Hawkeye moment, which is pretty sick. I think he's captured and he's getting tortured, and like they see him like he's bound to a chair, right?
yeah.
And they see him fucking with his like nails, and like it turns out he starts ripping his nails off, and he like
Oh,
flicks
like
them
flick-
into
yeah.
like their mouths, and they start choking.
That's so
Pretty
funny.
gnarly.
Like to
That's
escape.
crazy.
Gnarly.
He rips his own nails off. God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I would like to see. I would like to see just a Hawkeye movie where he discovers using a gun instead.
Yeah.
And that's and it's just like,
like John
the whole
Wick.
movie.
It's just
Or
John
actually,
Wick,
better
but,
yet,
like-
it's him using the bow and losing to a villain over and over again. And at the end of the movie, he just shoots the guy, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Wow, that was a lot easier." Credits.
Yeah. I'm now Gun Man or Gun.
I'm now Hawk
Gun Eye.
Gun
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 Eye, yeah.
Hawk.
gun eye, bullseye. So the panel right here is Hawkeye's strapped in a chair, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all you see are like close-ups of his hands doing like this, right? And then a doctor walks in, and he's like, "What the hell's going on here?" And Hawkeye just says, "Shouldn't have left my fingernails in." Pretty fucking, pretty fucking
Christ.
gnarly, dude.
We didn't think to take him out.
pretty-
Well, we
I mean, it does.
What, you didn't think of taking out? Shit, like,
does heavily lean on the fact that he's like a secret agent, like deep state operative essentially, and like he's like, torture's nothing to me.
What if he was like pissing into everyone's mouth and stuff?
Yeah.
He's like, should have let me piss earlier.
He like poops like a log and like knocks someone
imagine,
out.
does he have super accurate spit? So like if someone's like in his face interrogating him, he can like perfectly spit directly into their eye every single time.
I think he might do that with his tooth actually in the Punisher Max series too. Funny
Yeah.
enough. He bites his tooth off and like uses it to kill someone too, or like shoot at someone. It's fucking that run of Punisher is really great.
We need more badass Hawkeye like that.
Well, no, that was Bullseye for that.
Yeah,
Are you saying
instead
you
we
mean
got?
Hawkeye?
I was about to say
gotcha.
Hawkeye. All we get is like movies about him getting brainwashed by Loki and then having to get bonked in the head over and over again until he comes to his sentence.
And becomes
Crushed by a snowplow or something.
Yeah.
Rips penis off, uses it as club. Shouldn't have left me my penis.
Yeah, let me use it as a club. It's not even a bullseye thing anymore.
Rips out individual pubes.
It's not a projectile. It's just like
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I guess that's not really a accuracy thing.
Yeah,
I mean, it's accurate in like aim or how to swing it, but yeah, I don't know.
I guess you're right. I should probably get to a hospital and plug this up. Speaking of, guys, do you have any plugs?
Yeah.
I'll start off. I'm
Or-
Dadala.art.
Hawkeye's penis.
You can find my penis on. Just kidding. Shouldn't have left it on.
That's when we get the
Oh my
OnlyFans
God.
going, okay? That's
Yeah.
the no dumb idea OnlyFans.
But yeah, you shouldn't have left me with the Instagram. It's at Dadala.art on Instagram if you want to see dumb little arts and little things and all that. So yeah.
If you want to find me with great gym leader comes a lot of Nate. Gym leader Nate on everything. Yeah,
That's a good handle, honestly.
It's true. It's true. No one has it. And if you want to see Dalla's penis, follow me at Gibbelding. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and get a
I post
shout-
a picture of that every month on the first.
every morning, every 6 hours. All right, let's give a shout out to Dalla's penis first and foremost.
Shouldn't have left it.
Well, I guess Hawkeye.
Shout out to
Let's
Hawkeye.
let's plug Hawkeye too.
Shout out to
Hawkeye's
Hypno
Hawkeye's
Hustler.
nails.
Hypno Hustler.
Shout out
Good
to
job.
Hypno-
Disco Dazzler.
Yeah,
Disco Dazzler. Yeah. Oh yeah. Woo! Shout out to all of the goblins.
Yeah,
All the goblins.
Every
All of
goblin.
the goblins.
Goblins
Shout out
nuts.
who
to
else?
Madam Web. Shout out to Madam Web.
Oh, yeah.
Jackpot.
Shout
Shout
out-
out to Jackpot. Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Jackpot. Shout out The Answer.
Yeah,
Ooh,
shout out to,
The Question. Shout out
to
DC's The
Mary
Question.
Jane,
They should make a
levels in
Answer
the
versus The
Spider-Man
Question
video
movie.
games.
Shout out to
Ooh,
interrupting
Larry,
each other.
Yeah.
Yep. Shouting out. Yeah. Shout out to shouting.
Thank you for listening to No Dumb Idea.